Mars. Mars will be moving into Cancer. May have mentioned it before. But it's a time for everybody to take a break from the seven-headed dragon, with Mars being in Gemini. It's been quite the nervous energy for me anyway, being Mars ruled, and that's why I'm reporting on Mars right now. Yes, I'm looking forward to it's because Mars in Cancer depends on what house for you, but it's kind of going to do an aggressive agitation, or more like just a lot of activity in that house. So for me, it's the fourth house of the home and of Cancer. More like of just, yes, the emotional body, and it's about the home. So it's very protective and nurturing, right? And so I'm just protecting myself. If you can imagine, as somebody who puts themselves out and radiates, makes themselves vulnerable, and then what comes at you isn't always going to be what you need. I mean, really, that's not the point. I mean, this is kind of like therapy for everybody when people work their things out, or think in front of you at least, I mean, watching something else, whatever. God, point of this video. With the Mars in Cancer, for me, especially when it trines my Jupiter, I'll be, my spirituality will start to activate. It's a trine, and bottom line, especially for the Aries, is that recede into protecting one's emotional body and really not wanting to be so active. It's going to be hard to like put yourself out there, right? And listen to somebody who is in a lot of pain, their comments towards you. It's just like, well, everybody's got their shit, baby. And so it's just a time of, I was just going to say relaxation, but it's not really that, because you really want to, at this time, around the sun is kind of squaring that now. See, I don't have a sun square Mars in my chart, but I have a sun conjunct Mars, so there's that lighting up, and for me, it's just recognizing when somebody isn't handling their energy, and it could spill over on you. And there's where we talk about boundaries, especially like with social media, right? Like, say, okay, now if you're looking at this, you chose. See, what I'm talking about is to filter out yourself. You have to filter out things. Only grab what's nourishing. If you see something that's bad, it's not their business to know that that's bad, or it's only your business, right? Filter it out. If it's not doing enough for you, this is the Aquarius vibe. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. You're not going to change the world. You're going to change the way that you're filtering and managing things into you. That's the fact. I'm just learning that. There's three freaking planes we're dealing with here. There is like the illusory plane, where the mental, where everybody is thinking that they need each other when really they need the truth. They let each other down because they're not loving God. They're trying to love what? An ideal of each other or something. And it's like, you can only love, babe. Kind of tricky. And we'll talk about that more. Me having really, I go by what you should really know is that you are your rising sign, the time that you were born. It's just like that's your new year. It's not even, we just had New Year when the sun went into Aries. The spring equinox is the technical new year according to what the months are reading. If you know the months, if you know what the words are pointing out, from where do they come from? These are numbers. And sept is 7, and an oct is 8, and that's where you are with counting the months. The December des is 10, like decimal, or decan, But anyway, your rising sign is where everything is filtering through, and I thank God, because I have so much Libra. Astrology is very intricate, because you can say you have so much Libra, the sun in Libra, but my sun, because it conjuncts Mars, boom, back to Aries again. And then Pluto is there actually in the middle of Mars. There's Scorpio. I have Sun conjunct Mars conjunct Pluto, being Mars ruled. Scorpio suns wish they had that infusion, you know. You'd have to be a double Scorpio to keep up with me. And the fact is, well, because of the Mars used to rule Scorpio until they found the higher octave of Venus, which is the opposite of Taurus, Pluto. It used to be Mars that ruled Scorpio, and everybody knows about Scorpio, right? Um, supposed to be the sexiest sign and all that, but we could all just say, babe, it's Aries. Aries hit it off very first, and thank you. Nothing really compares to their energy. Aries is more frank and upfront and selfless about that. They're like, well, this is just, let's do it! Let's just do it! But Scorpio's like, we'll do it after. Now, how much are you worth again? And it's like, oh, come on, we're just here to have fun. Get out of here, God. I get it. Just kidding. No, for the Mars. See, the Mars in Cancer is a trip for everybody, because Mars is ruled by Aries, but then it goes into Cancer. Everybody's gonna be like, you know what? My soup is perfectly warm right now. Excuse me, I'm not gonna listen to you right now while it's just right for me. And please back off. Get your boundaries. Get your bound, Aries. Stay out of everybody's business. That's the name of the Aquarius age. Are they going to get it? Man, there's going to be a lot of ass kicking because of that. It's like, my uncle was an Aquarius, and he had just this natural, he had Mercury in Aquarius too, so that was his conversation. He would just pipe up like, so ahead of his time about common human etiquette. That's like a universal law that you either get it or you don't. You either have it or you have ancestry who has been practicing. Universal law includes mind your own business. There's an extent to this. Like you don't just ignore. If you can be present and there's an extent to it. Like, okay, extent, what does that mean? Extension? You might feel that you don't ignore your intuition. If somebody's laying face down in the water and they're still breathing, you go over and you lift them up and maybe roll them over and say, have a nice day. You know what I mean? God. However, but see, the question will always be with an Aquarius, did they choose that? And is that the consequences of them having ignored the truth? Because the saying goes, you can ignore the truth all you want, but you can't ignore the consequences from having ignored the truth. A lot of that's going to be coming up now, and people are going to be like, I'm dangling, I feel so... And it's like, would you fucking stop doing what you keep doing, which is ignoring the truth, first of all? What are you eating? Fast. Stay away from... Man, I've had to switch my diet all around. You've got to be careful of the greens nowadays also, because they have chemicals in them. Find the main staple. I mean, I'm just talking now. My nurturing self is just find the main staples. A few things that are going to work for your body. Stick to it. Pay attention, to how you feel. That's what I'm doing. And so it's the same with people, especially social media. Imagine somebody like me who's just going to post this. Am I waiting for a comment? Hell fucking no. I'm actually dreading. I'm looking right now at my little bell thing, and it says over 9. It says 13 comments, and I'm like, I bet you 6 of them is from that one person who was in so much pain that they latch on. A pain body will latch on to you. So pain bodies are people you can tell right away, and they start transferring it. So you see, we are all the same in that we're managing pain, and we have experiences that are boundaryless, and we feel certain ways, and you are to manage it within your personal inner being, and try not to get it on everybody and anybody. Some people, I admit I'm a healer, and if you are too much in an identification of all this shit and you're in the trap of the mind, I'm going to get impatient with you, because that's exactly what's happening in the United States. You hear some bad experiences going to a therapist, they're just going to roll their eyes at you, because you are nowhere near wanting to change. And they just say, okay, so what blue pill do you need? Just an eye roll. By the time you've made it there, you're not seeing it. You're not seeing it. You don't know. It's just like, you know that you're making a choice in the now. In the now. You have an alertness. So you go back to mind, you loop back into mind, and that's what you're going to a shrink for. They call them shrink because what they do is they listen to your story. Well, you know, that's normal. So what we'll do is just, you know, gosh, you expanded out, but let's just fold it all up for you. Let's stick it back in your head. There, it's normal, okay? And your name is, what's your new diagnosis now? And here's your blue pill. Call us in 2 weeks. See if. And it's like, there's cosmic things happening. You need to fucking change. You're fucking denying that you're most likely. You know, what bugs us the most but being around other sick people? So I'm looking at these 9 comments. I'm like, how many sick people did I attract today? Because, you know, it's kind of like athletes. They're athletes, or they're going doing their feats. And then what's the idea there? Well, people that are sitting in the audience, are they athletes? Look at them. Oh my God. One of them is double wide there. It's like, did you take up 2 seats? Is America making special seats? Yes. Sorry, I don't mean to be insensitive, but they're kind of insensitive to their situation, wouldn't you say? All of the insulation says, I'm ignoring my sensitivity. Because insulation, you know, you're an electrical being, so the more, like, you know, insulation that you're packing on, the less that you're going to hear the cosmos coming in. You're an antenna. Your skeleton is the same as everybody's. So therefore, when you start using your skeleton more as just being here, like, just acknowledge you have a body, okay? And then it's nobody's business but yours to start managing, well, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Really, you can't go to a doctor and trust them to figure you out unless you know something, a little bit of what you've been doing with your daily life in your body. You know, they'll start asking, well, what's your diet like? You know, all of that, babes. You better listen to yourself. Have a good day. Love you guys.